This is WFYI News Now. It's November 18th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, Indy's newest innovation district aims to lead changes in human, plant, and animal health. The FSSA is ending its contract with a longtime provider of health insurance for Indiana Medicaid recipients. And a World Day of Remembrance held over the weekend for those who died in road traffic incidents.
It is not rocket science, it is traffic science, and they have lots of data on what works for safety interventions and types of enforcement. So we want that plan to look like a successful plan and then be funded.
Those stories coming up, but first. The Boone County prosecutor charged a Whitestown homeowner with voluntary manslaughter after he shot and killed a woman who mistakenly came to his door earlier this month. Zach Castle reports on the office's decision.
Kurt Anderson is charged with a felony count of voluntary manslaughter for allegedly shooting Maria Florinda Rios Perez de Velasquez through his front door on November 5th. Rios Perez was a member of a cleaning crew that mistakenly went to his address. Anderson told police he thought people were trying to break in and fired one shot. The shooting drew attention to Indiana's stand your ground law, which allows a person to use reasonable force in self-defense. Kent Eastwood is the Boone County prosecutor.
It is vitally important for the citizens of Boone County to understand that our decision today in no way should be interpreted as a challenge to Indiana stand your ground law.
Rios Perez was a mother of 4. Last week, her family hosted a vigil in front of the prosecutor's office. I'm Zach Castle.
Indianapolis's newest innovation district aims to lead changes in human, plant, and animal health. Jill Sheridan reports a recent gathering of industry and education leaders expressed challenges in recruiting skilled workers to meet industry growth.
The summit at the new Elanco Animal Health headquarters on the edge of downtown brought together state and local leaders to discuss ways to move the life science sector forward. The district, dubbed One Health, is anchored by Elanco, and Purdue University has signed on to help spur work through biotechnology, animal health, and research incubators. Eli Lilly CEO David Rick says attracting top talent to Indiana is a challenge.
I think if we value families and economic growth, and those are the priorities, then we probably should look at what we say and what we do and say, how can we be the best?
The leaders also discussed areas of focus, including the need for more energy, the impact of climate change on crops, and continued collaboration. Other local life science innovation districts include the LEAP District and 16 Tech. I'm Jill Sheridan.
The Family and Social Services Administration is ending its contract with MDwise, a longtime provider of health insurance for Indiana Medicaid recipients. As Ben Thorpe reports, this means over 300,000 members will need to find a new provider.
Secretary of the FSSA, Mitch Robe, said MDwise was, compared to other programs, the most expensive and the lowest in quality. The program will end on January 1st. Members need to choose a new provider during open enrollment, selecting from Anthem, CareSource, or MHS. Those who don't choose a plan will be automatically assigned one. Medicaid benefits will still continue, and existing treatments will be honored during the transition period. MDwise officials said the move was rushed, short-sighted, and could put patients and providers at risk. I'm Ben Thorpe.
And for our final story today, Indianapolis officials, advocates, and family members of those who have died in road traffic incidents gathered for World Day of Remembrance on Sunday. Samantha Horton reports those at the vigil and memorial walk called for action.
Attendees stood in silence as stakes were pounded into the ground. The new sign remembers Dylan Lee Rogers, struck by a car and killed while biking home from work. The half-mile around this Raymond Street Interstate 65 southbound off-ramp has experienced several fatalities and serious injuries this year. Central Indiana Cycling Executive Director Tony Charolas says the city needs a Vision Zero plan to reduce fatal and serious crashes.
It is not rocket science, it is traffic science, and they have lots of data on what works for safety interventions and types of enforcement. So we want that plan to look like a successful plan and then be funded.
City-county councilors in attendance voiced commitment to Vision Zero. A draft safety plan was proposed last summer, but the task force has yet to finalize it. I'm Samantha Horton.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.